Hello world. Hey, good to see you guys. It is Wednesday, March 25th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 15 seconds after. I want to welcome everybody. Hope everybody's safe. As always, we say be safe, virus, protect you and your family. Do the basics. Do them all the time. Make sure you're keeping your hands clean, limiting your exposure to others. Remember, any cardboard products, metal products, anything of that nature can carry the virus for a number of hours, sometimes in extreme cases, a number of days. So make sure that you have sanitizer with you everywhere you go. If you want to wear a mask, that's awesome too. But first and foremost, when we start our important show today, which is chock full of great information, we want to make sure that you are taken care of, that you are safe, and that you are able to help everyone around you remain safe as well. We'll all get through this. We got to continue our everyday activities, and we just got to keep forging ahead. That's what human beings do, not just Americans, but all of our fellow human beings across the world. I hope all of you are safe. I hope all of you are doing well. And I know that you can have cabin fever. Please get out as much as you can. Take a walk, take your dogs for a walk, take the children for a walk. Get out, just limit your exposure to things, and enjoy yourself, and have as many activities as you can. Okay, and what we do is we do Sunday, in other words, ice cream Sunday parties with the grandkids. We do pizza parties. We break up the monotony. We have movie night. We have popcorn. We try to do everything we can to make it a festive environment, so it gets everybody's mind off of quote unquote being quarantine. We don't use that word, and we don't stick around the house. We go out in the backyard. When it's nice, we get out and about as much as we can, so that everybody has as normal a life as possible, yet being respectful of the disease. So with that being said, today's show is chock full of great information. Our show is going to be about scale of life. What is your quit number? If you don't know what that means, you'll want to stick around and find out, because it is important to every facet of your life. All right, let's get going. All right. I'm glad everybody's here. Don't forget, please give us a thumbs up. As you can see, I've just posted a comment. You're more than welcome to leave a comment. We love to get feedback, immediate feedback. Don't feel bashful. Comment if you feel necessary. Give us thumbs up. We're going to be talking about an important show today, important topic. This is about every aspect of your life, but it certainly applies to business, every aspect of business, as well as network marketing. And it's called the scale of life number, and it is identifying your quit number. Okay, and it's not as negative as it sounds. It does have a negative side as well as a positive side, just like anything else. What you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you understand what your quit number is, and you'll understand the importance of it here in a moment as we identify those things. What that does. Why do you need to know that? Well, because you want to know let's go first, the scale of life. There we go. There's our topic for today. The reason you want to know this is because it's going to help you find your weaknesses. And then you're going to evaluate whether that roadblock that's in front of you is worthy of your attention, is worthy of the effort to overcome that roadblock. It helps you identify what the problem is. Who would not want that, right? And the thing is you got to be honest with yourself, obviously, but we'll talk about that in a moment. This document is going to be free on the website. You're going to be able to download it later on today. I'll make it available almost immediately after the show. So that being said, you're saying to yourself, okay, what is this scale of life? What does it mean to me? How's this really going to help me? Well, remember, this can be used for anything in life. That's the reason why it's called the scale of life. Once again, it's a scale of 1 to 3. And you say, 1 to 10. And it's important that you understand how to use this correctly. This changed my life in a lot of areas, because once again, it was written down and it helped me to focus in on what my shortcomings were. Nothing negative. It's just that you get so busy in life, you forget to look at yourself every once in a while and look at yourself in a positive way and say, you know what, I'm really stuck here. Okay, Am I willing to go through this brick wall to get to the other side? Now, let me give you a visual, okay? And as you can see, our question number one here is, what is it? We just talked about it. It's a scale of 1 to 10. You're going to identify on each level, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, all the way up to 10. And there's one level on each side. One, you start with 0 on the bottom. 10's at the top. What does 10 represent? Your goals, okay? For instance, if my goal is to get a new house by the end of this year, okay, then on that scale, I'm going to, at the top, the 10, I'm going to put buy a new house. I'll put down the numerical number that I'm going to invest in that home. And then on 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put down potential roadblocks. Say credit rating, okay, say monthly payment, down payment. And you can go all the way up until you get to the top of your dream home. Now, what happens is you go through the process, everybody has a place where they're going to stop. And this applies in network marketing, and I'll do that here in a minute. Here's what I'm saying. You're going to have a situation where you're going to be challenged along the way of pursuing your dream house, whether that's your credit rating, whether that's the down payment, whether that's the monthly payment, what you can and can't afford, whether it's in the neighborhood that you want to live in, whatever the case may be. There's going to be various challenges along the way. And what you have to do is you have to identify those challenges that are important to you, okay, that you know that are going to be challenges, okay? And let's say it's the credit rating right out of the gate. And you say, okay, I can either let this stop me, or I can find out what I got to do to overcome this credit rating. I can sit down with the bank and say, okay, what do I have to do? Or get with, you know, these professional organizations you see online, I have mixed emotions about, but you get the point. I'm not going to get into that. The point is, you got to find a way to fix your credit, to repair that credit so that you can go to what? To step 2, okay? Now, some people say, well, my credit rating is so bad, I'm not even going to waste my time, and they quit on their dream. And yet there'll be somebody down the street that's gone through the same thing, that's had to file bankruptcy and ruin the credit, whatever the case may be, and yet they are buying a house. What's the difference between that person and this person? Well, because one person's saying, I don't care what it takes, I'm going to find a way to get into a new home because the family and I need a house. We need to own our own house. We may have had a rough time, a rough patch, but we are going to fight through it, and we're going to make it to our new home. And they're going to go through each and every one of those challenges. And they come up on a down payment. I don't have a down payment, but I'm going to work with the bank. Maybe I can use my GI Bill. Maybe I could use a owner financing situation. There are so many different funding possibilities when it comes to buying properties that anybody that says, well, the down payment is going to hold me back, well, that's foolish to let that hold you back. But is that your quit number? Are you going to quit at step number 2? And that's it. And that is your quit number on that subject. You see what I'm saying? Every person determines where their quit number is. The reason this is important is because if you say, well, that is my roadblock, I'm going to stop there. And then you go to the spouse and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get the house. And then they say, well, why? Well, because we don't have a down payment, or our credit's bad. And they may give you a little kick in the butt and say, that's stupid. Let's fight through this. And you will find there's a new you inside that's willing, because of your spouse's encouragement and guidance, to fight through that roadblock. And the next thing you know, you're going through each step, and ultimately you get to number 10, which is your dream home. And what happens is, along the way, those steps will identify a potential roadblock, and you've got to decide whether that is something you're willing to fight through. Well, how does this apply to network marketing? How is that going to work? Question number 2, how is that going to work in network marketing? Well, here's the thing. When you're doing network marketing, there's a lot of roadblocks. Are you bashful talking to somebody? Do you have the time? Maybe your time's limited. Do you have the money to join? And you can have all these roadblocks, and at the top is going to be the goal, whatever that is. Maybe your goal is to say, I want to reach my 90-day goals. Maybe that is your goal. But the scale of life, once again, is going to identify potential problem areas. And the importance of this, guys, is this. It's going to let you know where your weak area is. And then you have to decide. If you're stuck at step number 3, you have to make a decision. Am I going to find a way through that roadblock? Am I going to find a way around it? Maybe you need to bulldoze right through it and just like a bull in a china shop, just knock everything out of the way. And by golly, I'm going through it. Or maybe you're the type of person, I'm going to climb over that wall. Or maybe I'm going to be smart and go around that wall or dig under that wall. You're going to find a way if you have a burning desire to achieve what you identified in number 10. What's the power of the scale? Because it's written down. Again, remember the power of writing something down. It makes it real. And if you keep it in your wallet or in your purse and you look at it, I'm telling you, the power of that is going to be amazing. These are simple steps in life that can make a huge difference. Once again, we're sharing something with you guys you're not going to learn anyplace else. And this is powerful. This is one of the most powerful things that we have out there. Why? Because it's not just about network marketing, it's about life in general. You could use this scale of life on anything you choose to use. You could identify other areas in your life that you feel are challenges. And what it'll do is it'll help you focus on that. And you're saying, I'm stuck at step number 2. I can't get past that. I need help. And maybe that'll give you the impetus of going out and seeking help somewhere, whether that's professional help or help from a friend, help from a mentor, whatever the case may be. What is that doing? That step is motivating you to find a way to get out through that step number 2 so you can get to step number 3. You'll be amazed at how that will help you do that. Additionally, here's what it'll do. On the negative side, it's going to say, I've reached my limit. I'm not willing to go through hell and high water to get past step number 4. I have a family. I care about my family. Step number 4 is going to take an absorbent amount of time, an absorbent amount of money that's going to put us in a very tough situation. I'm not willing to fight through that wall. But before you make that decision, you still want to get with a mentor. You still want to get with a professional. You still want to get input. You don't want to have that decision squarely on your shoulders, because sometimes when we can't see the forest because of the trees. Okay, so when we're on the inside, we sometimes cannot see the potential possibilities that are out there that would help you overcome that step number 4. But once you get that input, once you sit down and reflect, because you don't need an immediate decision, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Once you have that input and you sit down, you discuss it with your spouse, you give it serious thought, and you say, you know what, this is my quit number. I'm stopping at number 4. If I go beyond this, I'm really going to put us in a tough financial situation. If I go beyond this, the spouse is at the end of the rope. This could be a real problem between us. You know what? Step number 4 may take me away from my family too long of a period. This is not a good situation. I don't think this is something that I need to do. Now, the thing is that a lot of times problems like that have easy, obvious answers to, okay? But there are times where something like this, written down, where it's staring you right in the face, can help you really focus in, can really help you identify whether this is something you want to try to overcome. And that is your quit number. Number 4 in this situation is your quit number. You have to decide whether that's a positive thing or a negative thing, okay? In network marketing, anything that you have on that scale, for instance, you know what, from 1 to 10, you're going to build a large network marketing company. So what you're going to do, you identified it's going to take time. So I'm going to be away from the family. And then I'm going to be on the road quite a bit. I'm going to be on the phone a lot. I'm going to be on the computer a lot. I'm going to have to spend money. You're going to have to cut back on some social activities in order for you to get to the lifestyle you want. Well, as you can see, all of those are potential roadblocks. You could have a spouse that says, look, you need to spend time with us, not on that business. Okay? That's a roadblock. And that is a real life roadblock, and something that you're going to have to address, and something that you're going to have to make a decision on. And that could be a tough decision for some of you, and some of you, it's not such a tough decision. Additionally, if you're going to be on the road a lot, once again, taking you away from your family, based on your family situation, is that a smart thing to do? And if it's not for you to be on the road as you're building a large business, then you're going to have to say, okay, I may have to step back on my goals. I may have to adjust my goals because of our family situation. I may not be in a position where I can take this business to the next level. question to myself, am I happy where I am? Am I happy with the income that we have? There again, you'll have a quit number on that scale. Now, only you determine whether this is bad or good. Each scale of life can be different. It doesn't always have to have the same connotation each and every time. In other words, a negative one or a positive one. It's based on what your number 10 goal is. What are you trying to achieve? What are the potential roadblocks or the real existing roadblocks that you face to get to that top spot? Only you determine whether that is going to be a positive experience or a negative experience. In my book, no matter whether to me, it's all positive. Okay. And what do you mean by that, Rob? Well, here's what I'm saying. You have a situation where there, even if it comes up and says, okay, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and my quit number is number 5. Okay. And it's obvious I'm not going to be able to reach number 10. I have to sit down, and because I don't want to beat myself up emotionally because I didn't make it to 10. You know, being the type of person I am, I aggressively go after things. And if I don't accomplish them, then sometimes I have to beat myself up. Well, I've learned as I've gotten older, obviously, that that's not a good thing. And obviously, that's not always the right thing to do. That sometimes you got to pull back on the reins. Sometimes taking a step back is the right thing to do. So I've learned that, okay, I didn't get to number 10. I've been successful in other things in life. Here's the thing. Sometimes life doesn't, and life dictates that you got to take a step back. I mean, maybe this is a good thing at number 5. Only time will tell. Well, you know what? I'm willing to stop at number 5. That's my quit number. And then I will assign whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I've learned in life that, you know what? There's a lot of good in everything. The thing is, everything in life has a positive side and a negative side. You know, the half empty, half full type scenario. The thing is that you have to make that determination. But the scale of life, the importance of it is, guys, is that it will help you focus on the challenges that you face going up there, instead of just going blindly and just getting up every day and saying, okay, I got to make progress towards my goal. And you're out there going along, and all of a sudden you run up on a roadblock that you didn't see coming down the road, and it will literally stop you in your tracks because you weren't prepared. And you know what? Then you have to scramble to get input, either, once again, mentors, professionals, family members, friends, whatever the case may be, about this problem that you got up one day and all of a sudden it's smacking you in the face. You cannot be prepared for each and everything. But here's the thing. When you put this list down for known challenges that you're going to experience as you go towards that number 10 goal, guess what? It now gives you, when you get up in the morning and you're saying, okay, I'm making progress. I know that this particular issue could be a problem. All right, I've already made it through number 4, and we're heading towards number 5, and I've identified what number 5 is. Now, you don't want to use number 5 to create, because I do believe in the power of thinking. In other words, you can create the issue yourself if you focus too much on it. You just need to know it's there, so that if it pops up to its ugly head, you can say, ah, there it is. You don't want to create it yourself. You don't want to attract that trouble to you. You don't want to create something that's not there. Okay. The bottom line is that if you, just like going on a vacation or just like buying a home, your past experience has told you what challenges you're going to face, and those are real. Okay. And then you know your personal situation without any doubt. So you know your personal situation's real. So you're going to have on that paper real issues that you know that exist and that you've seen or experienced before in pursuing that home, pursuing that vacation, all of that other stuff, or even in this business and network marketing business, where you're going to be able to, once again, have a real good idea of the challenges that you're going to face in trying to build the business you want and the lifestyle you want. So no matter what it is you're going to use the scale of life for, you can, when you put down the challenges that are between 1 and 10, you're going to know that those things are real. And you just hope that they don't come your way, because even though you have them identified on that scale, doesn't mean they're going to in fact happen. Doesn't mean that they're going to be a challenge or that they're going to be as big a challenge as what you thought. Okay. What you're doing with this scale of life is you're identifying the potential problems so that you know they're there. You know that you're working towards step number 5. Okay. which is part of the process of getting you, because you're going to identify each and every step as part of the process, just like buying a home, just like planning an overseas vacation, okay, just like planning your business in the network marketing industry, opening up a franchise. You know what these challenges are going to be, and you know that each and every one of them you're going to have to address. And there may be every once in a great while, it's happened to me, where number 5 or number 6 didn't even pop up. Okay, it was a non-issue in this particular situation. Well, that's good. I either identified the wrong challenge or it ended up not being a challenge at all. So with that being said, what you have here is a situation where you're going to buzz right through number 6 and end up going through number 7. Okay, once again, and you can identify, as you put down the steps, you can identify, if you've been through the process before, you can identify the potential challenges that you're going to face. You can say, hey, from past experience, I know that here at step number 3, I'm going to have these following challenges. This is what I'm going. In other words, number 3 is a challenge. It's a label of a major challenge, like buying a home, your credit report. Well, you can put off to the side by the number 3 credit report challenge that, okay, I can go to professionals. I can even deal with the credit agencies on my own to correct issues on my credit. I can get help improving my credit from other professionals. Those are some of the things that you can write off to the side of line number 3, which is the credit report or the credit rating issue. See what I'm saying? So once again, as you're going up, you're going to have these things identified, but you can also have potential, steps identified that can help you overcome that potential issue. Okay. And if you're going along and you go to your bank and they say, well, no, your credit rating is not as good as it could be, but hey, it's not going to keep you from buying a home. And guess what? You made it through number 3. If you still want to improve your credit, that's awesome. You can still use those other steps that you identified, the subcategories of number 3, to help improve your credit. But guess what? You're buzzing right through number 3 and going to number 4. Maybe that's the down payment issue, because the bank that you're going to use or the credit union that you're going to use, the mortgage company, whatever the case may be, has said, no, your credit rating is not going to keep you out of the home. Okay. But it may affect your monthly payment, but it's not going to keep you from buying a home. So there again, you've made it through that roadblock. Now you're going towards the down payment, or maybe the monthly payment is the next issue. And you say, okay, if my credit is going to hurt me, because basically you're going to have a higher interest rate because of bad credit, and that affects your monthly payment. So that's your next roadblock. Okay. And you say, okay, what do I got to do to get my monthly payment down? Here's what I can afford safely, comfortably. And they said, well, there's, based on your credit rating, there's not a whole lot we can do. But if you put money down, oh, okay, well, then I might be able to do that. How much do we need? You see what I'm saying? You're working your way through the process that you already knew existed, and you have on your scale of life challenges, scale of life sheet, all of the challenges and the subcategories of helping you overcome each one of those. And you were prepared mentally. Okay, and you could have in advance before you ever went out to the credit union, the bank, whatever, and you may have already addressed these issues. You may have already lined up a down payment scenario. You may already have done, use the mortgage calculator to identify what your potential monthly payments may be and how you can help get those things down or make some adjustments in your finances. See, this scale has allowed you to identify those issues, get your eggs together before you go to the credit union, bank, whatever. That's just part of an example, a real life example of how the scale of life can help you be prepared and overcome these challenges. And once again, everybody has a quitting number. Everybody comes to a point in various parts of our life where we say, that's it, I'm done, I'm not going to do any more. I'm totally comfortable with the results I've gotten. I'm satisfied, I'm happy. Now, when this applies to the network marketing business model, I just want to tell you guys something. When you have people, remember we were talking about, we use the scale of ambition, from 1 to 10 to identify people that will take action, and everybody's at a different level. You're going to sponsor people that are 6, 7, or 8, or 9 on that scale of ambition, and you're going to be excited, and these people are going to be out there building a business. But remember, in our past episodes, we talked about every situation is different for everybody, obviously. And what I mean by that is this. Some people are going to come in your business and they're going to say, you know what, if I can make $300 a month extra, I'm tickled pink. And they might be a 6, 7, or 8, okay? But their quit number is what? There's on their scale, even if they're not using the scale of life, their quit number is at a low threshold because they're stopping at $300 a month. What is their limitation on that scale of life? It is what? The money. Okay, their monthly income, they built a business. Their goal was to build a larger business, maybe $1,000 a month, and they stopped at 300. That was their quit number. Okay, whether that $300 was on their number 1 level, number 2 level, number 3 level, it doesn't matter. And number 10 was $1,000 a month. They told you they wanted to create when they started their business, but due to circumstances, as things unfolded, $300 a month, as they got up to that point, you said, you know what, maybe I need to reevaluate this. $300 a month is okay with me. And remember, I always tell you, you love and leave your people. You love them, you embrace them. If $300 a month is where they want to be, don't beat them over the head. Don't make them feel bad. You'll love them, you embrace them, you give them a big hug. Now you give them elbow bumps, right? But anyway, the point is you accept them for where they are, right? Because later on, they may, in fact, come back and say, hey, I'm ready to take this thing up to the $1,000 a month level like I told you, okay? So the thing is that you got to understand that everybody has their own quit number on that scale of life, okay? And I always encourage my downline to use the scale of life. I explained it to you much like I'm doing right now with you. And some of them got it, some of them didn't, some of them used it, some of them didn't. That's okay. Okay, it wasn't a mandatory thing. What it did is it helped people to understand what the challenge is going to be, and everybody has a quit number. And when you look at that scale, when you fill it out and you're going for a mortgage, there's going to be a number. As it gets higher, those things typically get tougher. And when you get up in the 7, 8, 9 area, those, that's getting financed. That's signing the document. Maybe the spouse is not comfortable leaving the neighborhood you're in. Maybe the spouse is nervous about the monthly payment that it's going to cause this new house, and they're nervous. And as you get up to that scale and it comes to the moment where you're going to sign that document for that new house, there could be problems there. Okay. And once again, you're going to have to decide whether you're going to quit at number 9. You went all the way up that scale and you said, no, I'm stopping right here. Or if you're going to stop at number 8, or if you're going to bust through those and go straight to number 10. Once again, the scale of life is always identifying the potential issues that you're going to face in any situation, regardless of whether it's life, whether it's business, whether it's investments. You can use the scale of life to identify those issues to help you get through them. And you go up 7, 8, and 9, you'll see where those get more intense, they get more focused, and you're really going to say to yourself, when I get to that point, I'll have to deal with that, because right now, I think that may be as far as I can go. But you have your goal, you have your stated goal. That's what you should do. And everybody has their quit number, and you have to identify that, and it's going to help you prepare. When you put that down initially, and 7, 8, and 9 look like they're going to be challenges, guess what? You're going to be working towards solutions in advance instead of waiting to the last minute to potentially overcome that. Okay. And that's the thing. Like, maybe you're buying a house in another state, and one of the last steps is moving, hiring a moving company to get you from where you are to your new home in another state. Even if it's one state over, it's still a long move. The kids going to a new school. There's a lot of challenges that come at steps 8 and 9. And you've got to get the kids on board. You've got to hire a moving company. That can be expensive. You're going to have to come up with the money for that. You're going to have to work out the logistics of getting the family there in advance to make sure the house you're moving into is in fact in good shape. There's no issues there. And you can see where those last few steps can be a real challenge, and they become very intense. And you get number 8, step number 8, and the spouse says, hey, I ain't moving. I am not going to that other state. There's no way. The kids and I are happy right here, and those things do happen. I'm a former real estate investor. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I know that those things happen. So the point is that Somebody had a quit number, right? Identifying your quit number has a real impact. If you look at the scroll number 3 there, it's how does it affect you, this scale of life, and your business. We talked about the network marketing, how it'll affect your business, and you got to embrace the people that have their own quit numbers. If they say, I'm happy at $300 a month, you got to move on and focus on those that want what? That want more, that are willing to bust through that $300 a month barrier to go to bigger and better things. That is affecting what? It's affecting you and your business. In the house situation, what is it affecting? It's affecting the whole family, okay? And it may affect your business if you're employed with a company that wants you to move from where you are to the next state over, okay? And the family says, well, we're not going. We don't want to live there. We don't like it there. We're going to stay here. And you got a real issue, especially if that company expects you to be at that new location within a certain time frame. Guess what? It's sad. I'm not laughing at that. Believe me, I've seen it happen in the military a lot. There's a lot of spouses that said, I am not taking my kids to that country, or I'm not taking my kids to that environment. Okay, believe me, I have seen it. I've experienced it. So the point is, you have a situation like, well, I'll just give you an example. When I went to Iceland, I had to go by myself. Number one, I wasn't going to ask my family to go to Iceland with me, which they could, but who wants to go there for 2 years? I had to go there for a year by myself. That was not fun. I can't imagine taking family. I'd feel terrible. I mean, you talk about being quarantined, folks. You have 10 months of winter up there, okay? And you have very little sunshine. There's a lot of people that have mental challenges up there that were in the military because the environment was such a shock. It's a beautiful place, but you got to realize there's 6 months of daylight, 6 months of night. So that means that you have 24 hours of darkness. And there was a time where it was kind of dusky, if you will. And then you had 24 hours of light. So you go to bed at 2 in the morning, the sun's still out. So you have to understand that that's a real challenge for people. You know, the wife made it clear, I'm not going. The kids are not going. So I had to go by myself, which was fine. I already prepared myself. I wasn't going to let that be a stopping point. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about. I busted through my quit number. I didn't really have a choice. I was in the military. But the point is, I had to bust through that quit number, okay? And the thing is that everybody faces situations like that. Everybody's got a quit number. So if you want to use a document like this, you can make your own scale of life. It's just from 0 to 10. On the left side, I have one line drawn out, a couple inches up. On the right side, I had line number 2. Alternately, I had line number 3, a couple inches up, and I just worked my way up from, guess what, 0 to 10. I didn't start at 1, from 0 to 10. And then I put my goal at the top, and then I put the challenges that I knew existed. Sure, you're always going to get surprised. That's life. That happens. But the bottom line is that I identified what I knew existed, which I knew were going to be challenges. I did not create fake challenges just to fill in a slot. Okay, if I only had 7 challenges to go through to get to my top goal, which is sitting at number 10, guess what? There was only 7 challenges. I didn't create 8, 9. All right, don't do that either. You don't want to do that. You only identify what you know is to be real challenges to get to your goal. So once again, the scale is going to identify the challenges you have. It's going to tell you whether you're willing, because you're going to look at some of those, you go, wow, that's a lot to overcome. And it's going to mentally prepare you to either say, well, this is my stopping point. Okay, maybe I need to reevaluate this goal. Whatever the case may be, that'll help you adjust your goals as well. Maybe that goal is not as important to you as you thought. Maybe that goal is too big and you want to scale it back some. Once again, the challenges will challenge you to make adjustments and to challenge you to decide where your quitting point is. And only you can determine whether that quitting point is a positive or a negative. The only time it was a negative for me, guys, is if I knew I could overcome that challenge and I was too lazy, too unfocused, unmotivated, didn't care, and I didn't bust through that one. Okay, and I would look back. We all have regrets in our lives and different aspects of our lives. I've certainly done that. But the point is that I had situations where I had to make a decision. And I'll give you a quick example, and I won't drag this out. I was very talented athletically. I didn't realize how talented at the time. Guys, I practiced 12, 14 hours a day. I kid you not. I didn't go to school. I didn't. As shameful as that is, I did not go to school. I remember there was a time I missed 35 days straight. And I didn't have a warrant officer, criminal, or whatever those people, I forget what those guys are called, that work for the schools, truant officer, I think. So anyway, the point is, what was I doing? Well, I liked girls. That was one thing. But the other thing was sports. I was out on the basketball court, on the football court, the baseball, where I was out playing sports all the time. I was supremely talented. God blessed me with immense talent on the basketball court and the football field. I was always one of the best players, if not the best player. I was always the leader. People always looked to me to take the last shot or to score the last touchdown, whatever the case may be. I played quarterback, running back, linebacker. Let's see. And then in the basketball court, I played it pretty much everywhere, wherever needed. The thing is that I had such a terrible attitude that I would not allow the people to mentor the coach because I knew it was good. Now, I didn't realize how good I was, is what I said a minute ago. Now, this is part of the story, but here's the thing. I knew that I was good. I knew there was very few people who could stop me on the football field or stop me on the basketball court. And I played at a lot of places. When I was in the military, we traveled everywhere. I lived in LA. I lived in Dallas-Fort Worth. There's other places that I played. And people were amazed at my abilities. And there wasn't many people. There's about 5 people that I met that could stop me on the basketball court in my lifetime. And one of them, Calvin, I can't remember his name, Bazemore, really good friends. That guy could shut me down like nobody. That guy was super talented when it came to defense. We became good friends. We traveled all through the Dallas-Fort Worth area looking for anybody to play, whether it was pro basketball players with the Dallas Mavericks, whether it was semi-pro players that played overseas, whether it was college, it didn't matter. We go out there, we're military guys, and believe me, there's a lot of talented athletes in the military, and we go out there looking for the best players we could find. And that was an experience. And I'm gonna tell you something, when you're out there playing in the street, if you want to call it that, it is rough. Anybody that's done that, that is rough. You have to be strong mentally as well as physically, because they're going to challenge you. They're going to black your eyes. They're going to bust your nose, bust your lip. Having blood drawn was not unusual. And the thing is that you had to be one tough cookie. The point is that I was really talented. I was always one of the best out there. There was a lot of people said, I don't want to guard this guy because they knew I was going to eat him up. And I would talk crap to him on the basketball court. Not only tell you this, not to brag, I tell you this to give you an impression, a mental image of just how talented I was. And I was the same way on the football field. Well, the thing is, because of my attitude, I did not allow myself to get anywhere near my ultimate goal, which was to what? To take it as far as I could. I don't know if I could have been a good Division II player, Division III, Division I. I don't know if I could have gone to semi-pro or pro. I have no idea. The thing is, I didn't give myself a chance. So I look back with regrets, and on the scale of life that we're talking about, I didn't even hardly get out of the gate, okay? Because of my attitude towards school, I couldn't even hardly get out of the gate. I didn't even get past 1. My quit number in the example was either a 1 or a 2. Now that's terrible, okay? Do I have regrets over that? Yes, but I accept full responsibility because I was the one that was at fault. People tried to help me. I can remember one coach who came in one day during study hall, and the whole study hall, there's 200-300 people in there in the lunchroom, and he came in and he saw me, and I heard him screaming, and I turned around, and he was screaming at me. And the coach that was in there, he was responsible for this study hall. He had to go over and restrain the guy. The guy was upset because I had quit the football team, and I was on the verge of making All-State. And he was so upset with me because I was throwing it away. But to me, I was done with football. Once they said, hey, you've got a real chance of being All-State, I was okay, I accomplished my goal, I'm done. And I quit. I was an idiot. I was a fool. But look, I had a quit number. I did not even allow myself, although I had my grades at that time, I did not allow myself to what? To be the best I could be, because I quit at a low quit number. Probably a 2. I never even gave myself a chance to get the 7, 8, or 9. Okay. If I had a scale of life number and I realized the importance of grades, I realized the importance of mentors, and I realized the importance of listening, to keeping my ego in check. You know what? If I had those things identified, and if I was a smart young man, which I wasn't, then the bottom line is I would have gone as far as my talents would have allowed me, and my attitude. The attitude was the biggest thing, okay? Because you're always going to run into people that are more talented than you. Typically, as you go higher up in the talent chain, it's the work ethic and the attitude that separates the winners from the losers. The ones that make the rosters, the ones that don't. The ones that get the playing time, the ones that don't. Now, this is not about me. I'm giving you a real life example of how I quit low on my quit numbers were low in the examples that I just gave you. Okay. Do I regret doing that? Yes, but I did not have the benefit or the foresight or the understanding of what I'm discussing with you right now. Obviously, as I got older and realized, and I created the scale of life about the same time I did the scale of ambition. And I realized the challenges that we all face. And I also realized how writing something down crystallizes in your mind the things that you need to do, or the things you need to overcome, or the challenges that you may face. Everybody knows. You know, research has shown that, I forget the percentage, it's like 90-something% people accomplish who write things down when they go back and revisit their list, that more times than not, and I forget the numbers, that 90% of the time people accomplish what they wrote down, okay? And they were in a specific time frame. And I forget that survey, I think it was a survey, or maybe it was a research paper. I can't remember. And I'm sorry I even quote that, because if I'm going to quote it, I should make it clear and I should tell you exactly where it is. But I did read that. It's been a number of years ago. But some of you may realize and read that same thing and realize those numbers are pretty accurate. The point is that it's proven that when you write stuff down, you're going to, more times than not, you're going to accomplish or follow what it is that you've put down on paper. That's a crystallizing moment, not only on that paper, but in your mind. It's like you're making a commitment to yourself that you're going to do these things, and you hold yourself accountable. Otherwise, you wouldn't have wrote it down. That's the power of writing stuff down. Well, if I'd have had the scale of life back then, and I was smart, and I was willing to listen and learn, there's no telling where I could have gone. Well, the same thing applies to you. If you use the scale of life, that's the reason why I share it with you now, because you can use it in the network marketing business model. You can put down the challenges that you're going to face as you go towards your goals. So the thing is, you want to make sure that you get out there, identify the things you need, and as you're going towards that goal, that you have that sheet in your wallet, which I carry with me, and I would look at every once in a while. And as I accomplished a goal, okay, I repaired my credit, bam, and I would mark it off. Okay, I got the down payment taken care of, bam, mark it off. Okay, yeah, this monthly payment is right in the area that I thought I needed to be in, bam, okay. And so I'm making progress up that, and I'm looking at it, and I say, okay, here's my next goal, okay. And so I'm ready to prepare myself for that challenge mentally, as well as whatever else I need to do, okay. Do you see the power of this? Do you see what's happening here? Do you understand how this can help you guys out? Okay, and now question number 4 is, okay, well, when should I use this and how often? Well, you know what? It's going to be up to you. This can be used in just about any scenario. Don't drive yourself nuts with it. I encourage you to use it on the important issues, okay? The things that are really important. On the day-to-day issues, obviously, you don't need to burden yourself with unnecessary documentation, unnecessary stress, unnecessary responsibilities on a daily basis. I would encourage you to use this only when things are really important to you. When you feel that, okay, you know what, this is going to have some unknown challenges and I need some guidance, I need some focus, I need some preparation, and this scale of life will help me do that on this particular subject or this particular goal. So the thing is that you're going to have to make that choice on how often you're going to use it, and when and how should you use it. When, you know, that's going to be there again a personal decision. It can be a powerful document in so many areas of life, and I don't know how to give you that answer because it can apply to so many things. Once again, I think it's a personal decision. Matter of fact, excuse me. Matter of fact, I know it is. It's definitely a personal decision. Only you can answer that correctly. I know that I still use it to this day. I know that I have my to-do list. I have my scale of life list, and I put down the important things for me that I know are going to be a challenge, and it's part of my to-do list. I'll staple them together, and then I'll go, and as I mark things off on my to-do list, guess what? That to-do list is, if I'm at step number 1, I'll have on my to-do list the steps I need to take to complete step number 1 or roadblock number 1, whatever challenge, or you can call it a challenge number 1. I call them whatever, and sometimes I call them challenges because I know I can overcome it. Sometimes I call them roadblocks because I realize this is serious. This could be a real roadblock, okay? And once I get there, if I'm doing the things on my to-do list and I can't get through that roadblock, then I have to sit down, and then once again, I'll take a step back, I'll take a deep breath, and I'll seek advice if I have to. I'll do research if I have to see what it's going to take to overcome that roadblock. And then I'll decide whether I'm willing to commit to overcoming that roadblock, going under it, going around it, climbing over it, whatever the case may be. I'm going to look at the price I'm going to have to pay, the price my family may have to pay in order for me to overcome that roadblock. I'll make that decision. If it includes discussing it with the spouse, I certainly will do that as well. I will not do something of importance without discussing it with her first and telling her the whole picture. And also showing her through my research, I found this out. What do you think? What's your input? Is the reward worth it? You see what I'm getting at? So there again, I use my to-do list along with, and I'll staple them together. And then as I go through each one of those steps, I'll mark the steps off and I'll put completed, I'll put the date on it that I completed it. And then on my to-do list, of course, I'll mark off the things I had to do to overcome that, like preparation for repairing my credit. I'll have it on my to-do list, you know, get with so-and-so company or get with the bank or whatever I have to do to address the issues on a credit report. That's what I'll do. And then once I go through my to-do list, I'll go over, and if I've accomplished that repair, I'll go over and scratch it off, put the date on there, and move on to step number 2. Okay. So that is the power of it, guys. I hope this makes sense. I hope you can see the power of it. I hope you can understand what it is and what it can do for you. I hope you can see potential in it. Don't overuse it. Don't go crazy with it. Use it when it's appropriate. Use it when it's important. I want you guys to know it's there. It can be used in the network marketing business model as well. No doubt about it. That's where I started using it, and it made a huge difference. And the thing is that once again, it gave me focus. There's something powerful about writing things down. Once again, it crystallized those things in my mind, and it let me stay focused, just like the scale of ambition. They went hand in hand. I filled them both out when I was in the network marketing business. I use the scale of life in life events that I feel are major events that I need guidance and understanding and foresight. And that's when I'll use the scale of life. I still use that to this day. The scale of ambition is to help you build your network marketing business solely, okay? So you could use the same sheet and just have ambition at the top, scale of ambition at the top / life, and just scratch out ambition when you're using it for life events, okay? There's no sense in having 2 documents. I mean, that's what I did. But for you guys, I created 2 different documents so that you guys can understand that they are, in fact, separate entities and that they can be used in 2 different ways and for purposes, 2 different purposes. All right, I hope I haven't bored you guys to death. I want to thank you guys for being here. We have another short day today. Tomorrow, we're going to have another great subject. Don't forget to visit our website, TheMLMSolution.net. Please follow us. Go there. There's a lot of great information there that you can download. As always, we're continuing to improve that. A lot of changes coming down the road. Don't forget, you can go to any of our platforms, hashtag TheMLMSolution, hashtag TheMLMSolution. Please follow us. Please share everything. Give us a thumbs up. As you can tell, if you will, please share, like, and comment on our various social media platforms. Subscribe, if you will, to our YouTube channel and register for the notifications, guys. We love it if you do that. Additionally, please give us thumbs up always on the live broadcast. We love hearing the feedback. You guys have been great about that. That has been happening. Please continue to do that. We thank you guys with all our heart. God bless you guys. Go out and have a positive impact on the world. It's a better place when you do. We love you guys. Thank you for following us. And very shortly, we're going to be going into a whole new phase in regards to these podcasts, because we've covered just about all the basics. We have one more important one, and it's a numbers game, network marketing. And that's going to be an interesting show. You don't want to miss that one. That's going to be talking about, I won't say all the numbers of network marketing, but the important numbers of network marketing that you need to know about. They play such a critical role in your business and in your success. Without knowing the numbers, remember, I always tell you guys, if you don't work the numbers are going to work against you. Okay, that's the bottom line. You have to know the numbers in network marketing. You have to work them. If you don't, you're at a major disadvantage, and chances of you building a successful business is going to be slim to none. With that, I'm going to hop off here. You guys have a great day. God bless you. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. I'll see you then. Take care, guys.